Hey, it's Neil Napier here again. Now, I wasn't sure if I should show you this or not because what I'm about to offer is not for everyone. But if you're the kind of person who sees big opportunities in the podcast space and wants to maximize every advantage, then keep watching. You've already made a smart decision by investing in PodGorilla. Right now, you have everything you need to create professional podcasts and start capturing the massive podcast marketing opportunity, but with one key limitation: you're still working within set limits. What if you didn't have to? What if you could create as many podcasts as you want? What if you could manage unlimited episodes without ever hitting a cap? What if you could dominate every profitable niche with podcast content? Imagine this: you wake up, check your phone, and see notifications from 20 different podcast shows all running simultaneously. A finance podcast for investors, a wellness show for health coaches, a business podcast for local entrepreneurs, an entertainment series for your media brand. Each one is building authority, capturing leads, and generating revenue while you slept. That's $15,000 plus in monthly recurring revenue from podcast services alone, all running on autopilot. Now, the PodGorilla license you just grabbed is powerful, really powerful. It's going to help you create professional podcasts, land clients, and start generating real revenue. You made a smart investment. But here's what I've learned after helping thousands of entrepreneurs build successful podcast agencies. The ones who scale fastest, the ones who hit $10,000, $20,000, even $50,000 per month, they all do one thing differently. They remove friction before it becomes a problem. See, here's what typically happens. You launch PodGorilla. You create your first few podcasts. They look amazing, sound incredible. Clients start saying yes, then something exciting happens. Demand explodes. A real estate brokerage wants a podcast. A coaching client needs weekly episodes. A local business owner saw your work and wants in. Suddenly you've got 5, 10, 15 potential clients all ready to pay you $800, $1,200, even $2,000 per month. This is the moment most people dream about, the moment where your business takes off. But it's also the moment where most people hit an invisible barrier they didn't even know was there. You go to create that sixth podcast and you're at your limit. You want to produce more episodes for your growing client roster and you need to upgrade. You try to generate more AI voices for different shows and you've hit your cap. And here's the painful part. I've watched brilliant entrepreneurs turn away $1,500 a month podcast clients because they didn't have the capacity to serve them. Not because they weren't talented, not because they couldn't do the work, but because they were working within limits that weren't built for scale. The standard license is perfect for getting started, but when opportunity knocks, and trust me, it will knock, you want to be ready to say yes without hesitation. That's exactly why I created PodGorilla Unlimited, not as a replacement for what you have, but as the natural next step for people who are serious about building a real podcast business. Think of it this way: your current license is like having a car that gets you where you need to go. PodGorilla Unlimited is like upgrading to a vehicle that can take you anywhere, anytime, with no restrictions. With PodGorilla Unlimited, you get unlimited podcasts, create 10, 20, 50 plus shows simultaneously, unlimited episodes, never run out of content capacity again, unlimited AI voice generations, deploy across every niche and client, unlimited access to advanced features, intros, outros, ads, music, everything. But here's the part that gets me really excited. You can use PodGorilla to land clients for yourself before you even sell your first podcast service. Here's how genius this is. Fire up PodGorilla Unlimited. Create a stunning demo podcast in their niche: real estate, fitness, finance, whatever. Use the 100 expert speakers and custom voices to make it sound incredibly professional. Show them the demo, let them hear how it sounds, watch them see their brand elevated to premium podcast status. Then close them on a monthly retainer using the proposal templates from the bonuses. You're literally using the product to sell the product. It's the ultimate demonstration. And with unlimited access, you can do this across every profitable niche: real estate agents, coaches, consultants, e-commerce brands, local businesses, personal brands, influencers, course creators. The opportunities are endless. Look, if you're already seeing the potential here, don't wait. The math is simple and the risk is zero. Click below now. But if you are still thinking, then think about this. What if you had just 10 clients paying $800 per month for podcast production? That's $8,000 monthly recurring revenue. What about 15 clients at $1,200 each? That's $18,000 per month. Or 20 clients at averaging $1,500. That's $30,000 per month. $360,000 per year. And because the AI handles everything automatically, you're not drowning in editing work. You're scaling systemically. Now let me show you the simple math on this investment. If you land just one additional podcast client at $800 per month, this upgrade pays for itself immediately. Most users add 3 to 5 new podcast clients in their first month alone. That means you could literally 10 times your investment in 30 days. But here's the thing. This unlimited upgrade could easily cost $497 per year or more. And honestly, it should cost more. Let me put this in perspective for you. Descript charges $288 per year for their creator plan with limits. Riverside charges $348 per year and still restricts your episodes. You're getting lifetime unlimited access for just $299 per year, because the unlimited voice generations alone would cost you $100 plus per month from other AI voice providers. The unlimited podcast creation would run you $200 plus monthly from competing platforms. The done-for-you templates and bonuses, that's easily $500 plus if you hired freelancers to create them. But because you just invested in PodGorilla, and because I want to see you succeed at the highest level, that's less than 82 cents per day to remove all limits and unlock unlimited podcast power. Less than the cost of your morning coffee to build an unlimited podcast empire. Plus, I'm throwing in 3 fast action bonuses worth over $440. An advanced analytics dashboard that tracks listener engagement and performance, 5 DFY podcast launch swipes that close deals like Clockwork Podcast SEO Optimizer that gets your content discovered automatically. That's over $740 in total value for just $299 per year. But this offer disappears the moment you leave this page. If you try to come back tomorrow, you'll pay the full price, if you can even get it at all. This is your one shot to remove the limits and build the unlimited podcast empire you actually want. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but what if I can't handle unlimited clients? Look, the beauty of PodGorilla is that it handles the production for you. You're not editing episodes manually, the AI is. You can serve 20 podcast clients as easily as 2 because the system scales automatically. And that leads to another common worry. What if I don't have time to manage that many podcasts? I get it. Managing multiple shows can feel overwhelming. But that's exactly why we built the advanced features. With priority rendering, 180-day storage, and automated optimization, managing 20 podcasts takes the same effort as managing 2. No manual editing, no complicated workflows, just automated podcast production at scale. But maybe you're still wondering, what if there isn't enough demand for podcast services? The good news is, this isn't a small opportunity. The podcast industry is projected to be worth over $4 billion, and 62% of businesses say they want to start a podcast but don't know how. That's millions of potential clients who need exactly what you can provide. And with unlimited access, you can serve them all without restrictions. And just to make this completely risk-free, try PodGorilla Unlimited for 14 full days. Create unlimited podcasts, generate unlimited episodes, use all the advanced features and bonuses. If you don't absolutely love unlimited power, if it doesn't help you scale faster than you ever thought possible, I'll refund every penny. You keep the bonuses. You keep any money you made. No questions asked. But here's what I really think will happen. I think you'll create your first unlimited podcast in the next hour. I think you'll have 5+ professional demo podcasts ready to show prospects before the day is over. And I think you'll close your first 1,000+ podcast retainer within the next 2 weeks. Because that's what happens when you remove artificial limits and think unlimited. The question is simple. Do you want to build a small podcast business with limits, or an unlimited podcast empire that dominates your market? The choice is yours, but you need to make it right now. Click the button below, upgrade to PodGorilla Unlimited. Remove the ceiling forever. Your unlimited future is waiting. I'll see you on the inside.